Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about leaky gut, which equates to gut permeability. If you live in the world today, it's a sure bet that you and me have some degree of leaky gut or gut permeability. And for the sake of our discussion today, I'll be using both concepts interchangeably. So leaky gut is a syndrome that is linked to so many diseases, especially autoimmune disease and symptoms of autoimmunity. Leaky gut translated medically is referred to as increased gut permeability. It's a common condition affecting just about everyone. Our gut lining is compromised in such a way that it no longer seals the outside from the inside. Imagine having no seal around your windows of your house. You'll feel a draft and also will invite some pests into the house, right? So let's say that you have a mosquito problem in your house and have irritating bites every day all over your body. What would be the first thing you'd do? Seal your windows, right? Then you'd kill off the mosquitoes in the house as soon as possible and take care of the mosquito bites so that they heal on your body, right? Then your house becomes a safe and comfortable place where the temperatures and the cleanliness is controlled once again. In the same way, gut permeability means that we've got gaps in our gut lining where the pests like bacteria, viruses, and candida or yeast, as well as toxins begin to pass through to get into our body. Our gut has a robust regulating system, specifically our immune system, which can protect our cells by putting together a good army to fight and kill off the enemy that entered our bodies. This is called the innate immune response. This works for a while until our immune system gets tired from lack of sleep, insufficient nutrition, and diminishing metabolism. Our soldiers slowly begin to get confused and tired, and in their efforts to protect, they begin to confuse our own cells with the enemy, which leads to an acquired immune response. So our own immune system turns against us and begins to kill off our own cells to the point where it's self-destructive. This is where the autoimmunity begins. This process can take years to develop into a diagnosed autoimmune condition. What we do know is that multiple factors predispose us to getting an autoimmune disease. This applies to everybody. Number one is a trigger. Number two is a genetic susceptibility. Number three is leaky gut. So let's first talk about trigger. So whether it started with trauma to the body, such as a bad fall or a motor vehicle accident or a bad infection, such as sinus infection, food poisoning, or even a simple cold, anything that sets off the immune system is considered a trigger. So next is genetic susceptibility. So our genes are the deck of cards we're dealt with when we were born. But they are largely affected by our environment, nutrition, and lifestyles. Some of us don't get sick much, and if we do, or when we do, we spring back quick. On the other hand, some of us struggle with health all our lives, and even though our behaviors are so healthy, we tend to get sick anyway. Outside of that, we know that we can alter our genetic expression. For example, by changing our diet strategically to enhance our health, we can turn on and off the very genes that can potentially affect our overall health. The problem is that we're not super clear on exactly which diet most are suitable for us. Last is leaky gut. Leaky gut just means that we've got large gaps that are opportunistic for harmful bacteria and toxins in the gut to freely enter our bodies. We've got significant amount of immune cells on our gut lining, but over time, they've degraded to a point where they're not helpful anymore. Also, due to a highly acidic lifestyle and exposures to certain medications, especially antibiotics, we've killed off the good bacteria that helps us to metabolize our food and keep our gaps tight in our gut. Not only that, due to the good bacteria that was killed off, we harbor more bad bacteria, which takes over our body and creates so much acidity to the point of severe disease. When our gut lining is leaky, bacteria, fungi, parasites, undigested foods and toxins that normally should not enter our body now has free entry. While we can run some specific tests to determine if you have a leaky gut, it's often unnecessary and cost prohibitive. We'd rather you spend your resources of time, money, and effort in restoring your gut permeability because everyone, to some degree, as I said, has leaky gut. Before we talk about what to do, let's review some symptoms of leaky gut. There are allergies, asthma, autism, autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, etc., and some rash, eczema, and psoriasis, inflammatory bowel disease like irritable bowel syndrome and Crohn's, celiac disease, Hashimoto's, type 1 diabetes, difficulty concentrating, and chronic infections. So what specifically causes leaky gut? Number one is common infections like the flu, pneumonia, sinus, UTI, bronchitis, etc. because of the antibiotic usage. And meds like NSAIDs, chemotherapy, drugs, antibiotics, any meds. 3 is stress. Number 4 is celiac disease, alcoholism, strenuous exercise, and some chronic food allergies or sensitivities. And as I mentioned before, trauma of surgery or even accidents. As I mentioned above, gut permeability is especially a suspect in autoimmune and various other diseases. It is the root cause of many of the common diseases and the symptoms, including autoimmune, heart, diabetes, PCOS, IBS, and even cancer. This is why it's so important to start with gut restoration when reversing disease or symptoms. Truth is that we're all aging faster than we'd like, and a direct effect of aging is inflammation. So inflammation then increases our gut permeability, and as we have increased amount of toxins in our bodies, we slowly become acidic to a point where we have bad bacteria overgrowth in our gut. We call this the dysbiosis, which is too much bad bacteria in comparison to the amount of good bacteria. Leaky gut wreaks havoc in our body by overstimulating our immune system, increasing inflammation, and decreasing metabolic efficiency. Our body shifts into a dangerously acidic mode. And to add to this, it further perpetuates the problem by disrupting our ability to absorb the nutrients from our foods. What's worse is that as the bad bacteria takes over our bodies, they begin to compete for the nutrients that we need. Next week, we'll talk more about the microbiome. But what we need to remember is that we need to get busy creating alkalinity in our body, strategically doing the right things to restore our gut and immune system and decrease overall inflammation and improve metabolic efficiency. So when my patients ask for a diet or a specific supplement, I have to have this conversation before I can lead them in the right direction. I tell them that unless we fix their gut, no amount of clean diet or the most quality supplements will fix their problem. Because their ability to digest and absorb is poor, the supplements go right through and will end up being expensive urine. Also, many patients want to know what lab testing to do. My recommendation always is the same. If you want to fix what's going on in your house with the mosquito infestations, we've got to repair the damage, restore its function, and then tune in with interior decoration to have it functionally and aesthetically pleasing, right? In that order. And without a strategic approach, all too often, I find that many patients end up with expensive testing, a number of supplements and medications, but are not feeling any better. So the gold standard diet is an elimination diet for at least 28 days to allow your body to be free from any toxins. The link is here if you're interested. This diet will allow you to find what foods you're sensitive to and what foods are safe to eat for you. The following are non-negotiable supplements for you to consider to ensure that you're getting everything that you need. So the link is provided here. One is probiotics, vitamin D, and a complete vitamin supplementation. You'll feel significantly better However, without proper nutrient supplementation, it's not possible to restore your gut completely. So we've got the alkaline detox protocol. It's an 80-day program if you were to be serious about getting your body back under your control. The link is provided here as well. I'm so confident that no matter what your health struggles are, that you will transform your body in ways you never thought possible. But it starts with your commitment to get to that, to achieve that goal. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next week when we'll discuss more about the microbiome. Please like our Facebook pages and Alkaline Health, Lupus Rebel, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast. The link is below. And our podcast name is Health Made Easy on iTunes. We'll see you next week.